mad because I don't have a cell phone, but I do have a tablet. I do play a lot of video games, but I get mad because I have to use my allowance to play something.
It's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah, like paying $3 just to go play outside.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Well, I do have a cell phone, and I would basically tackle my dad, not literally, but because I really couldn't afford that, because I only get like $20 a month, and half of it goes into a savings account, and the other half I get to spend.
So you'd be mad.
Yes.
Angelina.
I would get like, even though they gave my allowance back, I would still be really mad because I worked hard to earn my allowance, and now I have to use it for stuff like paying for my cell phone just to use it once.
Sheen.
I guess I'm gonna say I have the same opinion as Lyric. My sister and I do share a Wii on the TV, but we don't really use it much, so that wouldn't really be an issue. And neither of us have a cell phone, and I technically don't really have an allowance, so I wouldn't exactly. It wouldn't really affect me as much because I just don't have an allowance, period.
So you could live with it. It's not a big deal. Yeah, Seth.
So I wouldn't really care because I don't have a cell phone and I don't have like video games like Connects or Wii's or something. So it wouldn't really matter to me.
Hey, Julia.
I would get mad at my parents because, well, they're my rightful parents, but taking my allowance, first building a fence, and now you're giving me back my allowance, and now I have to pay for, like, playing video games and going outside and talking on my cell phone, and it's crazy.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Karen?
Oh, I would be mad because you already have to pay for your phone and computer. Not that I have one, but still you already have to pay the company. But now you also have to pay your parents just to use it once. And it's like a necessity sometimes, like your phone if it's an emergency.
So you wouldn't like it?
I'm not saying this is how I respond, but it's kind of like taxing you money to buy tea, but it's like a metaphor for taxing you, or you have to pay for something you want.
If this were you, how would you feel?
Mad.
Neve.
Especially because
If I were to have a phone and play video games, which I don't, but if I were to have them, I would probably either not use either one of them, and until my mom and dad would see like I'm not using them, so yeah, or I just wouldn't listen to them and not pay them, maybe, but.
So let's see here. Oops.
That's a really old one.
Your parents tell you that you can play video games again, but you can only play games that your parents select. The game that your parents have selected is called Rock Band Justin Bieber.
Our parents chose that.
I just wouldn't play it, and I'd be fine with that, and my parents would eventually see that I was like responsible enough to pick my own video games and go in a treehouse.
So you want to demonstrate to your parents that you're responsible, and maybe they'll
Yeah, and like,
understand that.
if I act out a lot, then they'll realize that I'm not responsible enough to pick my own video games or hang out with troublesome friends and stuff.
Good, Neve.
I either react in either two ways. One would be I just ask my parents if you could pick out another video game for me to play, because I'm not a big fan of Justin Bieber or or I would I forgot what I was gonna say.
Neve, this doesn't sound like your parents are too interested in listening to what you have to say. Sounds like here they're telling you what to do. This is what I'm getting from
Or
here.
I just not play video games and
Just not play it. It.
I mean, since I do play video games, my parents can choose, like, when I'm allowed to play, but I don't think it's fair, what game, because, like, it wouldn't be fair that your parents are, like, interrupting your playing time. Like, when you're trying to do something that you like, they're just, like, making it really terrible.
okay, so if I had it, I wouldn't play it. But knowing my mother, since I wouldn't be using it, I would be hearing, baby, baby, baby. Ah! So basically, I would probably hide somewhere and, like, try not to listen.
I mean, as we're talking about this, making a connection between what's the American Revolution, what was going on then. Sheila?
I probably it wouldn't be fair that they would be choosing the game for me. Like Aiden said, they choose usually when I get to play, and they've okayed the games I play. So I think it would be fair if I got to choose.
But this sounds like they're not giving you any choice
Yeah,
at all.
they're like just telling
telling
me.
you.
They aren't very. They're like not listening to you at all.
They're not listening. Benny?
This might sound a little harsh, but I would just move.
You'd move.
I'd go like, Mom, can I have my passport?
You'd say, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm going to move.
I would say, like, can you, like, make an agreement, like, maybe I can play this game for 5 months and then I can switch.
I think what they're saying here, Isabella, is that they're not caring what you think. That's what I'm getting here, is that these parents you don't have the choice. They're telling you what to do. So I know a couple of you have mentioned about, can we negotiate something with the parent? But I think in this case they're saying, you're not going to play that.
Or I just wouldn't play it and just say, like, well, I don't want to play it, so I won't play it and find another alternative.
I would just throw